I'm so sorry. Can I help you with something? Okay. Are you new here? It's just I haven't seen you before. Oh, okay. It must have been when I wasn't working that day then. Yeah, so we do have lots of choice. This is my own personal coveted collection. So what kind of genre were you looking for? Okay. Well, I think you'll be spoiled for choice. Oh. I've just been reading Interview with a Vampire. I have a thing for vampires. I know it's probably a bit cliche, but I do quite like the darker books. You know, something a little scary maybe. I do like horror as well though. Yeah. I know, I think since the Twilight movies came out, there's been a sharp uptake in vampire book sales. This one is especially good. I've actually read it before, a really long time ago, so I was just refreshing my memory. Yeah, I can read the back for you if you'd like. Let's see. In a darkened room, the boy sits, waiting for the story to begin. His companion is a young man, cloaked in shadow, his voice low and soft. Only the pure white of his collar is visible in the gloom. The story of this man's life is about to be told, a story of a vampire facing the dark stretch of eternity, cursed with an exquisite craving for human blood. So, if that's your kind of thing, it's got good reviews. I mean, I recommend that you give it a try for yourself. Sometimes reviews aren't exactly akin to what our views will be, and I'm quite easy to please, so some of the reviews: a spine-chilling nightmare, highly accomplished, an impressive feat of imagination. Thrilling, a strikingly original work of the imagination, sometimes horrible, sometimes beautiful, always unforgettable. Anne Rice's masterpiece, Interview with the Vampire, is that longed-for, newly discovered room in the vast house of vampire. Yes, I have seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That is another show that got me interested in this type of book. I think there are 7 seasons altogether, and I've watched them all about 3 times. Well, every episode is different, so never really get bored of it. Did you watch the spin-off series, Angel? I also really enjoyed that as well. So our opening hours have changed, as you can see, because you're here right now, and we are open later than we normally would because we want to give people somewhere safe to go, just to read and stretch their legs, have a look at what books might interest them. It's a really safe space here. So, well, there's lots of people that struggle with sleep, me included, which is why this job is perfect for me. I do get quite tired in the day, and much like vampires themselves, they're awake at night, so I do find myself sort of relating to them quite a lot, actually. Yeah. few vampire movies. But in terms of books, this is a good one to start with. I can read you the first page if you'd like. Interview with the Vampire, an appreciation. Imagine a vast house standing in a neighbourhood of others like it, each in its own distinct style. The house has an uncountable number of rooms, some functional, some fantastical. You wonder, each room leads somewhere. There are whole suites, hidden passageways, unexpected halls, leading to dead ends, leading to enormous ballrooms, leading to sick rooms, nurseries, rooms that have not been inhabited for years. It is like that dream you have sometimes in which you discover an extra room in your own house. Gee, you marvel. This was here all along and I never noticed. Have you had a dream like that? I have had many dreams like that. I often dream about my old house and all the different rooms, but everything's not quite as it was or as I remember. Some of the rooms are upside down, kind of, and there's often a lot of staircases. Like that famous painting, the painting where there's lots of different staircases. Some are upside down, some are sideways. In fact, I think there's a couple of famous pieces like that. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, how dreams can distort themselves from our reality. I have lots of dreams that come out of nowhere as well, that are untraceable to my daily thoughts. Some do perhaps pop up that kind of signify what I've been doing in the day. So if I'm spending the day painting, I might have a dream that night that's something to do with painting, or reminiscent of a painting. So sometimes I can trace them back, but not always. Do you get a lot of nightmares? Right. And you struggle to sleep as well, no doubt. Sometimes people say if you watch scary things it can influence your sleep, but I'm not sure that's true, because I do like cartoons as well, and I still can't sleep afterwards. No, especially. So, Anne Rice's masterpiece, Interview with a Vampire, is that longed-for, newly discovered room in the vast house of Vampire, where I first read it back in the early 1980s. I thought, of course, it was here all along, implicit in the very idea of vampires. The existential despair, the tedium and attractions of immortality. The moral quandaries of the vampire diet. I was amazed that such modernity had been seamlessly retrofitted onto what is essentially a 19th century literary structure. But it is Anne Rice's cleverness to create her own 19th century vampires, to write over Bram Stoker while paying homage to his Dracula. She makes explicit many devices and themes he kept sublimated. But these things are there in Dracula, and Interview with the Vampire feels completely natural and correct, even as it is outrageous and daring. So, do you think that sold you a bit more on the book? For sure. I can find your copy and I will leave it by the door for you. Feel free to have a look around if there is anything else. I know we spoiled the choice here. You said that you struggle with sleep. So I think reading is wonderful for that. Sometimes if I'm really into a book, it actually makes it a bit worse, and I want to read on, and I don't want to go to sleep yet. It's a fine line. I can have a look in my personal collection for you if you'd like. So, I don't know if you've heard of the Witcher series. This is one of my favourites actually. Have you seen the series? So, this book is how many pages long? 315 pages long. So it's a really decent sized book. If you are particularly fast at reading, then you'll get through this quite quickly. There are others in the series. But this is book 1, of course. So I can read you the back again if you'd like. For over a century, humans, dwarves, gnomes and elves have lived together in relative peace. But now the races are fighting once more, killing their own kind and each other. As the threat of war hangs over the land, Geralt of Rivia must protect the child of prophecy, Ciri, from those who are haunting her for the extraordinary power she holds. A power that could easily save the world, or destroy it. This time, Geralt may have met his match. So, the Witcher it's referring to is Geralt. He has white hair and yellow eyes. I don't want to give too much away, but if you like fantasy, this is a great book. And feel free to watch the series as well. I would recommend reading the book first. I think my favourite genres are fantasy and horror/thriller, probably more thriller. I do also like detective style books as well, but fantasy and thrillers are my favourite, and often they actually coincide. Feeling quite sleepy. I don't know why I get this compulsion to tap the books. Sometimes we have what they call ASMR evenings. So we will form in a circle and we will all read to each other the same book. So usually take it in turns by chapter. So we do a chapter each. I think we have about 6 people, but of course there's plenty more room if you would like to join. We usually hold them on Wednesdays. You don't live far, do you? That's good. So I can read you the first page if you'd like again. The town was in flames. The narrow streets leading to the moat and the first terrace belched smoke and embers, flames devouring the densely clustered thatched houses and licking at the castle walls. From the west, from the harbour gate, the screams and clamour of vicious battle and the dull blows of a battering ram smashing against the walls grew even louder. Their attackers had surrounded them unexpectedly, shattering the barricades, which had been held by no more than a few soldiers, a handful of townsmen carrying halberds, and some crossbowmen from the guild. Halberds. They're like a giant axe on a very long stick, and they have sort of a spike at the end of the stick and then the axe shape. That's the best I can explain it. A very effective weapon, actually. Their horses, decked out in the flowing black caparisons, flew over the barricades like spectres, their riders' bright, glistening blades sowing death amongst the fleeing defenders. Ciri felt the knight who carried her before him on his saddle abruptly spur his horse. She heard his cry. "Hold on," he shouted. "Hold on." Other knights wearing the colours of Sintra overtook them, sparring, even in full flight, with the Nilfgaardians. Ciri caught a glimpse of the skirmish from the corner of her eye. The crazed swirl of blue gold and black cloaks amidst the clash of steel, the clatter of blades against shields, the neighing of horses, shouts. No, not shouts. Screams. Hold on. Fear. With every jolt, every jerk, every leap of the horse pain shot through her hands, and she clutched at the reins. Her legs contracted painfully, unable to find support. Her eyes watered from the smoke. The arm around her suffocated her, choking her, the force compressing her ribs. So, starts off during battle. Quite like how it starts that way, just straight into the action, you know. Oh, if you're interested, we do have a new collection of manga. Yes, so you do have to read them sort of from the back to the front. It's just their tradition and their way of composing the books. Although I will say that some can be quite gory if you are into that sort of thing. So we have Junji Ito at the moment, which is new, and I have read them all. Well, so they're like panels. Sort of like a comic, I suppose. Yeah, there's no colour though. Okay, yes. I'll get you a copy of this one as well. And if you would like to come back once you finish those, I'd love to know what you thought of them. Okay, well, it was lovely to meet you. Sorry, what was your name? Brilliant. Okay. Hopefully I'll see you soon then. And on Wednesday is when we do the ASMR evenings. Okay. Take care.